So at this point, we have two different options. If you've already created a background in After Effects that you want to bring in and use now, you can go to File, Adobe Dynamic Link, and import your After Effects composition. If you haven't made one yet, it's pretty straightforward to go the other direction. So I'm going to right-click on this white background, and I'm going to replace it with an After Effects composition. It will open up After Effects for you. You can see that I'm here in the same one that I had open. So if it's already open, it'll say, oh, let's add another composition. This is a linked one showing you the original file name. So it's different from the Oh My Stars I had before. You can actually have dozens of backgrounds in one After Effects file that you then can use for different purposes. This white background, I can add my effect, simulation starburst, and now I have white stars flying, and it is the same length as what I had in my Premiere. So if this was still only a few seconds long, my After Effects composition would be much shorter. So the longer that is, the better. Now, these stars are moving way too fast, but if I save this real quick and I go back to Premiere, you can see that my white background has been replaced with the stars. And with this much data being required for stars, it doesn't really leave a lot for the model. And when it's encoded and then playing from Google Drive, your model can suffer. So it is highly recommended that we slow these down. For one thing, I'm going to put 0.1, and that just gives us a lot slower. And then increase the size of my grid spacing so that now they're kind of spread out that much more, in which case the size of my stars might be a little bit large. So you could do that. You can also scatter them so they're in slightly different positions. So now we have something a little slower, more majestic, floating in space instead of the flying through space. And again, the encoding part works better if you don't have that many. So I can go back to my Premiere project, and you can see the stars change immediately. So you can actually save this. The next day you come back, you can right-click and edit the original, and it'll open up After Effects with that file and exactly that composition for you. Meaning then you could go back and you could add things such as importing into the project some sort of image that you want the stars to be that color. So let me just pick, let's see, these pink and purple, and say, let's use that image and apply the stars to that. Now you could start from scratch. If you already have the size, speed, everything the way you wanted it, you could go back to white, Effect Controls, and copy, Control-C, the starburst from one and paste it on the other. Now why can't we see them? Well, that's because they are exactly on top. We have exactly the same numbers. So that's when that scatter can really help. You just scatter it a little bit, and now they're coming at the same speed, but they're in slightly different places, so that we've got two different color stars. Again, we've just doubled the number of stars, adding more pixels for the data to be able to have to represent. So when you do that, it can definitely affect your overall speed. Now it does help if you use contrasting colors or maybe complementary colors to what you have in your model.